big news that we are tracking this morning. Earthquake that jolted Delhi NCR is concerned. Let's tell you, tremors were felt across Delhi NCR early this morning. In fact, this is a 4.0 magnitude on Richter scale. More importantly, you're looking at some of the visuals on your screens that we did get in earlier when this was taking place. You can look at some of those visuals in this particular picture on your screens of that ceiling, and now you're looking at outdoor visuals as well. And Delhi epicentered in Dhaula Kuan, and the Prime Minister also reacted and he's issued alerts over the aftershock. The Prime Minister did state while taking to social media that urge everyone to stay calm and safe. The Prime Minister also stated stay alert for possible aftershocks. So you're looking at some visuals also playing out on your screens of how people did rush out of their homes after the tremors were felt. This was about between 5:30 to 5:40 in the morning. Having said that, let's listen into some of the reactions and we'll go across to my correspondent.
Vigilant not to panic about the current situation and be alert if there is any aftershock.
All right, Sabyasachi, you're getting us those important details as far as what has panned out at the moment, and given the fact that the Prime Minister has also reacted to it. All right, cutting across straight to Nikhil Lakwani, my colleague, who is going to be telling us what really transpired this morning. Nikhil, very good morning. Given the fact that most of us, of course, in Delhi NCR did feel it. In fact, the tremors were quite massive. But just for our viewers to better understand what has been reported on the Richter scale as well.
Well, on the Richter scale, this has been scaled at 4.0. So that was the intensity with which the earthquake was felt here in the NCR region, and this happened between 5:30 a.m. to 5:40 a.m. early in the morning. And after feeling these particular shocks, many people were out on the streets, and this has been felt across the NCR region. So far, the epicenter for the earthquake appears to be the central part of the city, but fortunately there has been no loss of life or the property which has been reported so far. But clearly the people who witnessed the first account, they say that they heard a crackling sound as well, which made them feel even more intense. So many of the people, instead of their alarm, they woke up because of the earthquake tremors. But fortunately everything appears to be very much fine, and there is a tweet as well which is out from the side of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, wherein he has asked to remain cautious and peaceful, and also there could be aftershocks as well. But this is something which happened early in the morning at around 5:30 a.m. Back to you.
You know, as you pointed out, you did state that the epicenter of this was also Dhaula Kuan, is what we're given to understand, which is central Delhi. But the magnitude of this was pretty massive because for people also living in Delhi NCR regions like Noida could also feel the tremors, Nikhil.
Well, clearly, Dhaula Kuan is the epicenter which is being told from the side of the Department of Seismology. They were the first ones to inform that the Richter scale was 4.0. But across the NCR region, it is not just about the capital city, but also the nearby district, Noida, Gurugram, Ghaziabad, Faridabad. So these are all the region of the NCR who felt the tremor. Although, to reiterate again, there has been no loss of life or the property which has been reported so far into the public domain. But clearly many of the people were out on the streets, and this was early in the morning. So it made people anxious as well. And as soon as they felt the crackling sound, they were clearly out of their premises. They were out. Many of the CCTVs are also out into the public domain, where we can see the shaky grounds as well. Many of the high-rise buildings, they are usually prone to these kind of activity, although people were out in search of shelter or in the open space. But fortunately, there has been no loss at any form which has been reported so far. Although there is no official word so far from the side of the Department of Seismology if there are any of the aftershocks which are going to be felt across the region. But this is something which has been mentioned by Prime Minister Narendra Modi while he said that everyone, each of the resident of the NCR region, they have to remain peaceful, and there could be aftershocks as well which could be felt. Back to you.
You know, as you pointed out in terms of what has been put as a directive as well, given the fact that the obvious aspect in such situations is panic, and which is why the Prime Minister did state what he did. But as you put that into perspective, many a times we have seen when earthquakes have taken place, let's say in a region like Nepal, which is why we look at the aftermath of tremors that is felt in Delhi NCR. What are we picking up on that front? Has that been reported yet, which is why we're looking at the condition that we are?
Well, so far the major impact in the northwestern region or the Indo-Gangetic belt, it is seen because of the tremors, which are usually, they find their epicenter in somewhere in the Nepal. We have seen that the major devastation have also taken place just a couple of years back into that particular country. But this time around, as per the details, the impact was majorly seen in the NCR region only. Apart from it, the epicenter turned out to be the Dholakua region, which is near to the central Delhi. It appears somewhere in the South Delhi region. Also, to give more details, Delhi is on the seismology 4. So that is the particular stage which makes it even more prone to the earthquake. We have seen time and again that the earthquake have shaken the ground in the NCR region. But the impact of the same is usually seen to the extent of the entire northwestern region. But so far, what we do know that the tremors have only felt in the NCR region. It is not just about the capital city, but also the nearby districts as well. But fortunately, there has been no loss, as we have already been reported. But on the Richter scale, it was recorded at around 4.0. So that is the particular intensity with which the tremors were felt early in the morning in the capital city.
All right, Nikhil, I appreciate you joining us this morning, putting that into perspective. Continue to stay safe. I'm going to come back to you, in fact, in a couple of more minutes while you track more important developments. But for now, we leave it at that. Let's listen into some of the reactions that came in earlier this morning.
तो हम करीब 5:30 बजे से यहीं बैठे हैं और गाड़ी का वेट कर रहे हैं। तो जैसे ही 5:35 या 5:38 के बीच ऐसा झटका महसूस हुआ जैसे कोई ट्रेन आके अचानक ब्रेक लगे हों। तो पूरा ये आसपास का जो एरिया एकदम से हिला, तो हमारी ओर धड़कने तेज हो गई। हमने देखा कोई ऊपर से कुछ गिर तो नहीं रहा है, कहीं कल की तरह जो हादसा हुआ है ऐसे कोई भगदड़ तो नहीं मची है। तो हम एकदम दहशत में आ गए। फिर हमने चारों तरफ देखा तो सब लोग खड़े हो गए, क्राउड, कि भाई क्या हुआ। तो फिर पता चला कि अर्थक्वेक आया, बहुत तगड़ा अर्थक्वेक आया। तो मैंने मोबाइल गूगल पे सर्च करा यूट्यूब के ऊपर, तो वहीं पे ये दिखा रहा था कि अर्थक्वेक आया है। तो हमारी सांसें एकदम से अटक गई। फिर हमने भी आसपास अपने घर पे फोन किया तो फ्रीज, बच्चे ने, स्कूल का टाइम होता है 7 बजे का, तो बच्चे उठ गए थे। उस टाइम उन्होंने बताया कि पापा फ्रीज ऐसे हिला है जैसे किसी ने धक्का मारा हो। तो पूरी दिल्ली में मेरे को लग रहा है कि बहुत तेज झटका है। मैं 37-38 साल का हो गया हूँ, ऐसा झटका तो मैंने पहली बार महसूस किया है।
हम लोग तो सोचे कि एकदम से कोई ट्रेन आई है, लेकिन जब बाद में पता लगा तो भूकंप है। फिर हमने न्यूज लगाई, न्यूज से पता लगा कि 5.36 का जो है एनसीआर दिल्ली में जो है भूकंप आया है। तो बस मैं ये करता हूँ कि भाई जो है सब सुरक्षित रहें, अच्छे से रहें, और बस यही हमारी मनोकामना है, सबसे है।
मेरे को पहले तो लगा कि ये क्या हुआ कि कोई डेक बजा रहा बाहर, हमारे सारे दरवाजे एकदम हिल गए। हम थोड़े संभले ही थे कि हमारे को दूसरे लोगों से फोन आने चालू हो गए कि यहाँ पे तो सब लोग घर से बाहर आ गए। मोतिया खान से फोन आया मेरे को, मेरे बच्चों का, कि हम लोग यहाँ से घर से बाहर आ गए और आप वहाँ सब ठीक ठाक हैं। तो मैंने उनको बोला हम ठीक ठाक हैं। तब हम अपने घर से यात्रा के लिए निकले, लेकिन बहुत घबराहट वाला भूकंप था जी। मैंने अपनी लाइफ में 56 साल की मेरी उम्र है, पहली बार ऐसा तेज भूकंप देखा है।
मैं एक्चुअली वेटिंग लॉन्च में वेटिंग कर रहा था ट्रेन का। अचानक ही 4:00 में बहुत तेज ऐसा लगा कि ट्रेन को गिरी हो, एकदम सडनली, एकदम बहुत तेज लगा। काफी जितने वेटिंग लॉन्च में जितने लोग थे सभी भाग गए। तो देखा तो पता चला कि भूकंप का झटका था, काफी तेज था, मतलब काफी ऐसा लगा एकदम ट्रेन गिरी हो उस टाइप से। हम लोग वेटिंग लॉन्च में वेट कर रहे थे उसको।
आई वॉज ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम हाउस टू न्यू दिल्ली स्टेशन, और रास्ते में टैक्सी में मुझे फील हुआ कि ऐसे शिवर हुई है टैक्सी। तो फिर घर से फोन आया कि देयर इज काफी हेवी हेक्टेयर का था शायद ये भूकंप।
मैं गार्ड रूम में बैठा था तो मुझे ऐसा लगा जैसे मेरी कुर्सी हिलने लगी।
तो आपने क्या किया फिर?
तो मैंने उठ के अपने गार्डों को अलर्ट किया। मैंने कहा कुछ महसूस हुआ? बोले नहीं, हमें नहीं हुआ। मैंने कहा यार भूकंप आया।
Going on to big news that we're tracking.